Welcome to this deep dive where
Yeah.
we are really going deep, folks, like down to the soul.
Down to the soul.
Yeah, with Jockey White.
Yeah, Jockey White.
You shared some excerpts from your personal diary with us, Jockey.
Skateboards.
Yeah, they are so revealing and deep, and give us a real look, I think,
A real
at who you are.
I think so too, and I've been so I feel really honored that we have access to these
Yeah.
entries. You know what I mean? Because it's such a raw look at your experiences.
Yeah.
With love and heartbreak and ambition.
Definitely. And ambition, we see all of that.
And spirituality.
Yeah, we're going to dive into all of that today, and we really appreciate you sharing this with us.
It's a privilege, to be honest. It's like getting a front row seat to your journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
You know, as you try to, navigate all these complexities of life as an aspiring musician in Atlanta.
Yeah, in Atlanta, no less.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so let's start with this secret admirer you wrote about. I mean, you connect with her online and clearly admire her intelligence, her creativity.
Right.
But then you hesitate to pursue a relationship.
Yeah, I found that really fascinating, kind of that push and pull between desire and restraint.
Makes you think, huh?
It does.
Is it a wise move, or are we looking at possible self-sabotage here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a valid question for sure.
Yeah.
On the one hand, it seems like you're really prioritizing personal growth, right? You want to work on yourself before you dive into a romance.
Right.
But on the other hand, is this, I don't know, is this a way of protecting yourself from a potentially amazing connection?
Could be, right? Could be maybe not ready yet. Wants to get it right.
I think so. I think you're right. You seem to really understand that to enter a relationship, it requires a certain level of, just emotional readiness.
Yeah.
And so I think this hesitation maybe just reflects a desire to kind of be the best version of yourself before you share your life with somebody else.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
And it also makes me think about, just this whole tension between personal growth
Sure.
and the longing for intimacy.
Absolutely.
Like, is there ever really a perfect time for love?
That's the question, isn't it?
Or do we just have to take that leap of faith?
Maybe instead of trying to find this perfect time, we should just be more comfortable
Right.
with the inherent uncertainties of love
Yeah.
and relationships.
Yeah, that's true. Moving on to your teenage years, Jockey,
Sure.
you wrote about an unrequited love from when you were 15.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like this unspoken affection, it still weighs on you,
Right.
which I think just hints at, just the lasting impact of these really formative experiences.
Yeah, those early heartbreaks, even if they seem kind of insignificant at the time,
Yeah.
they can really, I think shape how we view love
Totally.
and relationships as adults.
It makes you think about the what ifs
Totally.
and all the paths not taken.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you confessed your feelings back then?
It's possible that this experience led to, like a pattern of hesitant self-expression.
Oh.
A lot of times people who have gone through unrequited love, they develop a fear of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder for them to kind of express their feelings in the future.
Yeah. And speaking of risks, and love your diary entry from 2018,
Mm-hmm.
describes a relationship with an older woman.
Yeah,
It seems like maybe you were seeking closure for past heartbreaks.
it seemed that way.
But the foundation of the relationship wasn't really built on like shared desires.
This is what makes relationships so complex.
Right.
Right? Sometimes we seek connections to fill these emotional voids
Yeah.
or to try to resolve past hurts.
Yeah.
But true fulfillment comes from, shared values and mutual respect.
Right.
And a genuine desire to grow together.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you were looking for a deep connection while your partner had different priorities.
Different priorities for sure.
Yeah. So that brings us to Bianca, who holds the title of your longest relationship at 1 year.
1 year.
And this is where I think the tension between personal ambitions
Right.
and the demands of a relationship really comes into play.
For sure. And you were chasing your musical dream and you're facing financial anxieties.
Of course.
And you were battling your own inner demons.
Yeah,
It's understandable how all those pressures could strain any relationship.
definitely.
And it speaks to this universal challenge of balancing personal aspirations with the needs of a partner.
Yeah, it's like trying to juggle multiple spinning plates
It is.
while walking a tightrope,
While walking a tightrope.
especially for artists and creatives like you.
Absolutely.
Finding that balance between pursuing your passion
Mm-hmm.
and nurturing a relationship can feel really difficult.
It can. It requires, open communication and compromise
Yeah,
and a willingness to support each other's dreams.
absolutely. Sometimes even the most dedicated couples struggle to navigate these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think Bianca and you are a great example of that.
Now let's dive into some of the specific diary entries that offer deeper insights into your thoughts and emotions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. On page 19, you describe this moment of stage fright.
Oh, yeah.
During a performance in Atlanta.
Right.
And you froze up, forgot the lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
and later you realized it was because certain people weren't in the audience.
Wow.
What a powerful example of how external validation can impact even the most talented artists.
I think it's fascinating how performance anxiety and, that need for approval are so connected.
Yeah.
For a lot of artists, the act of performing is so deeply tied to that desire to be seen and appreciated.
Yeah.
And when that validation is absent or maybe perceived as insufficient,
Right.
it can trigger those feelings of self-doubt and inadequacy.
Totally. It makes you wonder how much of our creative expression is driven by like a genuine desire to share our art versus a need to prove ourselves to others.
It's a delicate balance, I think. While external validation can be very motivating,
Right.
relying too heavily on it can be detrimental to an artist's growth.
Yeah.
True artistic freedom comes from creating for yourself,
Right.
from expressing your unique voice without those constraints of seeking approval.
Absolutely. And then on page 40, you talk about feeling invisible, misunderstood, and only halfway appreciated.
Yeah, that's a raw confession.
It is.
That a lot of us can relate to, that yearning to be seen and understood for who we truly are.
This feeling of not enoughness, it's a common thread,
It is.
And it stems from that deep-seated need for belonging, for connection, for feeling like we matter to this grand scheme of things.
Totally.
And when that need isn't met, it can be really tough, It can lead to isolation, loneliness.
Depression even.
Yeah. Makes you think about how often we probably all walk around feeling this way.
Absolutely.
Without ever expressing it.
Yes, so right.
And maybe your, willingness to articulate these emotions in your diary.
Right.
Can encourage others to be more open about their own struggles with these feelings.
I hope so. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness.
Yeah.
But it's actually a sign of strength.
It is.
It takes courage to acknowledge those vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And to share our authentic selves
with the world.
Even when it feels risky.
The loss of your grandparents, Mr. Steve and Missy Betty White, is another profoundly moving entry.
Yeah, such a tough one.
You were raised by them.
Yeah.
And their passing clearly left a huge void in your life.
Loss is something we all experience, but it's something we often struggle to process and understand.
It's true.
Grief can manifest in so many different ways.
For sure.
And for some, creative expression becomes like a powerful outlet for coping with that loss.
Yeah. It's interesting to consider how your artistic journey has been shaped by this loss.
Yeah.
Have you found that your music has become a way to process your grief?
Yeah. A lot of artists channel their grief into powerful works of art.
Yeah.
It can be a way to find meaning in that loss. Transforming pain into something beautiful and enduring.
Yeah. Amidst all of this heartbreak and searching, we see glimpses of your evolving understanding of love.
Yeah.
On page 4, you admit, I don't know what love really is, but I know how to appreciate the close people in my life.
It's a simple statement.
Yeah.
But it's profound,
It is.
It speaks volumes about your capacity for connection.
Yeah, I think it suggests a mature and grounded perspective.
I think so, too. Instead of getting caught up in, these abstract definitions or idealized notions of romance, you focus on the tangible, valuing and appreciating the people.
The people who bring
meaning to your life.
Yeah, it's refreshing to see someone acknowledge those complexities of love.
It is.
Without trying to force it into a box.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that love comes in so many forms. And sometimes the most profound connections are found in those everyday moments of shared experience and mutual support.
But you're also honest about your struggles with pride and ego.
Yeah.
Particularly on page 1.
Right.
You admit to being self-centered, and you're clearly working towards self-forgiveness.
self-awareness is so crucial for personal growth. Recognizing our flaws is the first step toward transformation.
Absolutely.
It's through that honest self-reflection that we can start to make meaningful changes.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we're all works in progress.
We are.
We're constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving.
And striving to be better versions of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Your willingness to confront these challenging aspects of your personality, it's really admirable.
Well, it takes courage.
It does.
To be honest about our shortcomings.
Yeah.
Not just with other people, but with ourselves.
Right.
And it's often in those moments of self-reflection when we confront our shadows that we find our greatest potential for growth.
And it seems like your spirituality plays a significant role in this journey.
I think so.
On page 31, you write, "Whatever is in the sky watching over me, I hope it understands that I'm trying with a broken heart."
Yeah.
What a poignant expression of faith.
It is. You know, spirituality can provide a sense of purpose and meaning, especially during times of adversity.
For sure.
It offers a framework for understanding our place in the universe.
Yeah.
And for connecting to something greater than ourselves.
Absolutely.
It becomes a source of comfort and hope and resilience.
It's a testament to the power of faith to guide us through life's challenges.
It is.
To offer solace when we feel lost or broken.
You got it.
Okay. Now get ready for this. Because page 8 is where things get really intense. You write this incredibly raw and honest message about the complexities of loving you. You talk about the fear of abandonment, the desire for deep connection, the willingness to fight for love.
Yeah.
And then you drop this line that sent chills down my spine. "And if I die right, he was a true but broken man on my tombstone."
Wow. That is powerful.
So powerful.
It speaks to that longing for authenticity, for being seen and loved for who you are.
Flaws and all.
Flaws and all.
Yeah.
It also hints at, this sense of internal conflict, a feeling of being both genuine and broken.
Right.
And that struggle to reconcile those two parts of yourself.
It's almost like you're daring someone to love you.
Right.
To embrace all of you.
All of it. The good, the bad, the in-between.
The good and the bad.
Yeah.
It's a vulnerable but defiant declaration.
It is. It leaves a lasting impression.
It does. It's a reminder that we all carry wounds.
We do.
Scars from past experiences that shape how we see ourselves in the world.
Absolutely.
And true intimacy involves embracing those imperfections.
Yes.
Both our own and those of our loved ones.
It's about accepting the wholeness of a person.
Yeah.
The light and the shadow.
The brokenness and the beauty. It's a powerful message about the complexities of the human heart.
Absolutely.
The longing for connection and the courage to be vulnerable, even when it feels terrifying.
Even when it feels terrifying. And your willingness to share these thoughts and feelings with the world is a gift. It allows other people to see themselves reflected in your experiences.
Yeah.
To feel less alone in their own struggles with love and loss and self-acceptance.
Now let's talk about your relationship with Bianca in a little more detail.
You are both young and navigating the challenges of early adulthood.
Yeah, for sure.
What were some of the specific obstacles you faced as a couple?
Well, reading through your diary entries, it seems like financial stress played a significant role.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
You were both pursuing these creative paths.
Right.
Which often come with, financial instability, uncertainty. And that can put a lot of pressure on a relationship.
It's true, especially when both partners are trying to make it.
Yeah, trying to establish themselves in their fields.
It's a common struggle, I think, for couples in the arts.
Oh, for sure. The pursuit of creative dreams can be all-consuming.
Totally.
Leaving very little time or energy.
For anything else.
Yeah, for a relationship.
So do you think that your personal ambitions maybe sometimes clashed with the needs of the relationship?
It's a great question. Just reading between the lines, it seems like there might have been a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah.
In terms of, emotional needs and expectations.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed like Bianca was seeking stability.
Yeah.
And security while you were more focused on your musical aspirations, which often involve, late nights, unpredictable schedules.
Yeah, and financial risks.
Exactly, that misalignment of priorities.
Yeah.
That can be a major source of conflict.
Oh, for sure. It's so important, I think, for couples to have those honest conversations.
It is.
About their needs and expectations.
Absolutely, especially when they're navigating, demanding careers.
Or passions.
Yeah. Exactly.
Looking back, do you have any regrets?
About how things unfolded?
Yeah. About how the relationship unfolded. Are there things you wish you had done differently?
Well, hindsight is always 20/20, right?
That's true.
It's natural to look back and think about what could have been.
Yeah.
But it's also important to remember that every relationship, even the ones that end,
right,
offers valuable lessons and opportunities for growth.
I like that. Do you think your struggles with pride and ego,
which you mentioned earlier,
played a role in the relationship's demise?
It's possible. You know, when we're consumed by our own needs and insecurities, it can be challenging to really see and appreciate our partners.
For sure.
And it's essential to cultivate humility, empathy in relationship, and to prioritize the needs of the other person.
And compromise.
And compromise, exactly. You mentioned feeling misunderstood.
You do.
In several of your entries. Did you feel misunderstood in this relationship with Bianca?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think communication is just so hard.
It is. It takes real effort and skill to effectively communicate.
Absolutely.
Our needs and our desires and our fears.
All of it.
Yeah. And it's also important to, listen attentively to our partners.
Yeah, to understand their perspective.
Even when we don't agree.
Yeah. Reflecting on your diary entries as a whole.
Yeah.
What do you think they reveal about this journey of self-discovery you've been on?
Well, I think your willingness to be so vulnerable and introspective is truly remarkable. You don't shy away from difficult emotions or uncomfortable truths.
I appreciate that.
Your diary entries paint this really vivid picture of a young man grappling with these complex issues of love and loss and ambition and self-acceptance.
All in there.
They offer this glimpse into the raw and unfiltered human experience.
They do.
It's really a testament to the power of self-reflection and the courage to confront our inner demons.
Well said. It's a reminder that we're all on this journey.
Of self-discovery.
Yeah, constantly evolving and learning.
There's no final destination. There's no point where we just arrive.
Right.
Fully formed, complete. The journey itself is the reward.
Yeah, and your willingness to share your journey with all its messiness and vulnerability is a gift to us all. That allows other people to, feel less alone.
I hope so.
In their own struggles, to find solace.
In the shared human experience.
If your diary were a mirror.
Yeah, reflecting back on your life.
What would you see?
I would see a young man with this deep capacity for love.
Wow.
A passion for his art, and a real commitment to personal growth.
Yeah.
I would also see someone who's wrestling with inner demons, grappling with self-doubt, searching for his place in the world.
It's a beautiful and messy tapestry.
It is.
That's for sure.
A testament to the complexities of the human heart.
Well, this brings us to the end of our deep dive into the heart and mind of Jockey White.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for sharing your innermost thoughts and feelings with us.
My pleasure.
It's been truly enlightening.
Thank you.
And to our listeners.
Yes?
If Jockey White's diary were a mirror,
what reflections of yourself would you see?
We encourage you to contemplate this question.
And continue your own journey of self-discovery.
Until next time.